Oh, if
Do you name any
anything,
goal?
probably my granddad. Because my nan died when I was 3, and then my granddad died when I was 11. I was the only cousin, but for me and my cousins and my family to see me nan. No one else saw me nan. I was the only one over the age of 7 or 8 who saw my granddad and got to know him really well and got to spend a lot of time, quality time with him. So I was their only grandkid, basically. My granddad had all the grandkids, but I was his first grandkid, and I spent most time with him. When my granddad died, again, this is probably a trauma thing because I remember it visually. I was in my granddad's and he had cancer, and this is 1990, 91, I think it was. I was only about 11. And my auntie Susan, I think, was there, and she was looking after him and doing everything, and I was just sitting there being with him, spending time. When I grew up, my granddad used to hand puppets, shadow puppets on the wall, and that's one of my memories of when he used to stay over. He used to do shadow puppets on the wall for me, and I always remember that. And he was a bit of a gambler, my granddad, so I like having a bet and all that, and that's where I get that from. But we used to play pairs and play cards. He used to teach us how to play cards, and we'd play for like pennies and all that kind of stuff. So it's all them memories. And I used to go round when he was dying with cancer. I used to go rounds all the time. And this one day I was there. This is actually I've incorporated this story into my book in a way of that fictionalized it. But this is what happened. This is my story, but it's actually in the book as part of the story of the main character. I said to my granddad, "I'm going to the shop. Do you want anything?" And he said, "I'll have some ciggies." I said, "Granddad, firstly, I'm 11, I can't buy you ciggies, and secondly, you're tired from ciggies." This is what I've never smoked in my life, and this is the reason why. Because I watched my granddad go through this. My dad had a brain hemorrhage as well when I was like 12, and he survived that, thankfully. And I went to shop, got some sweets, whatever I got, came back, and the door was locked, and I couldn't get in, and I sat on the step, and I cried until my mum come and picked me up, and it's that seat, that step, that's the empty seat for me, because that's where I was sat crying until my mum came and picked me up. No one told me what happened, I just knew, because they locked the door and wouldn't let me in. Susan was like saying, "Your mum's coming to get you, just wait outside," and whatever she said to me, I don't really remember. And then my mum came and picked me up, and I must have said something like, "I know what's happened, he's gone." And she was crying and I was crying. And yeah, so it's probably that seat. That house, one of my other aunties moved in, I used to go and babysit all the kids because I was the eldest kid and all that. And there was one time, I hated that house after that, but I used to always do babysitting there. And this one night I was there babysitting, and one of my other cousins came around, me watching a horror film with one of her mates, and the lecky went off in the house, or the lecky went off, and I was only about 15, 14, and I wouldn't go back in the house even though I was babysitting the kids. I sat outside till my aunt came back. I was sat on that same seat again because I was so petrified. Yeah, it was. And then my auntie, I think she was living in there, or she was moved somewhere else. Me 2 twin cousins, Emma and Lauren, they come down. My auntie went up to the room and said, "What are you laughing at?" Because they were laughing at something. They're only like babies, and they never met my granddad. And they said, "We're laughing at Grandad." They described like what my granddad looked like, and he was telling them jokes because he was always telling people jokes. Do you remember the comedian Tom O'Connor?
Yeah.
So he taught my mum. He was a teacher in Bootle, and he taught my mum. And my granddad used to always say that he robbed my granddad's jokes because he used to tell all the jokes that my mum would go and say my granddad's jokes to people. And Tom O'Connor then robbed all his granddad's jokes. But yeah, that seat where I was sat outside that house, that I've probably never recovered from because I was 11, and at my last words, my granddad was, "I can't buy you ciggies because you can't have ciggies," which, it could have been worse words, it could have been better, but that's fine. That's my memory, and it's kind of like, I think he laughed at the time. He probably laughed at me as I was walking out. And then you think as well, did he wait till I went? Was he sitting there waiting for me to go, thinking I'm not doing it in front of the boy? So yeah, that one.